About 17 months ago, I was diagnosed with testicular cancer. But I think I knew something was wrong probably, I think it was about 6 months before that. It was actually Super Bowl Sunday. I can remember the exact day. I remember I was taking a shower and I noticed my right testicle was probably 3 times its normal size. I was a little bit worried. I got on MedMD or something like that and, got on the internet, tried to check it out. One of the things that was listed was testicular cancer, and I sat back and said, oh, there's no way. I'm 20 years old. Not a chance I'm going to, that's the problem. So I thought I wiped it off as a couple of lesser problems. Went to my trainers. They said, well, you need to get looked into. It was during spring ball. But then right after spring ball was track. Right after track was summer training. Right after summer training was camp. Right after camp was the season. And right after the Michigan game, about a week after the Michigan game, was when I was diagnosed. So I went to my personal doctor, who I've always trusted, and she had a chest x-ray done of me, and she called me. I was originally planned to come in a couple days later. She called me back that night and said, hey, we freed up a spot in the morning, and I didn't think of anything of it at the time, but looking back, it's because she saw my chest x-ray and knew there was a big issue going on. So from that point, she directly pretty much routed me to Dr. Chidiak here at the Zangmeister. Within, I would say, 3 days, I had a surgery to remove my right testicle. My cancer had spread from my right testicle to a lymph node in my abdomen to my lungs. And my lungs is where it was bad. That was the main issue, the problem area. So at about, I think, 4 days after my surgery, I started doing my first round of chemotherapy. I did 4 rounds of what's called VIP chemotherapy. The people are great. From right when you walk in, the receptionist up front, they're great. They greet you. They know your name. And then the next person you normally talk to is the nurse who weighs you in, and they're great. They treat you well. They take their time. They're patient. There's times when I was sick where I couldn't walk very well, and I'd try to get in there and waddle my way in, and they always patient with me. Dr. Chidiak is always keeping up with me, making sure I'm getting my blood work done, making sure I'm getting my scans when I need to, because the reality of it, he doesn't need to pay attention to that as more. He's got bigger issues on his plate now than my remission, but he makes sure he keeps up with me. I work at a golf course now part-time, and sometimes when the sun's rising in the morning, I just look over the course and I'm just like, wow, this is amazing. There's just little things like that you take in, you look at, and you're absolutely amazed by them. I'm also much more emotional than I've ever been. Sometimes I love sports, and sometimes there's these heart-wrenching stories you see on ESPN, and you're just like, wow, and I'll cry for them because I'm just like, this is amazing. This is a great story. So I'm definitely more emotional, even happier than I was before, and just taking the little things a little bit more. The Zang has been absolutely wonderful for me. I'm Dan Potokar, and that's how I was able to manage my cancer.